Hey, what's up gamers? You have TigerChainsaw. When you're my age, and that's kind of old, you think back on the games that you played, during college and all of the college parties where everyone was sitting by the TV and just was having a good experience. And I think the most popular game that I can think of during my era was Mario Kart 64. Everyone had just seemed to know how to play it. It was easy for everyone to jump into, and you had lots of different modes. You had the battle modes, you had the racing modes, and everyone seemed to have a favorite character that they'd love to play as. And so a lot of the college parties that I attended always had a TV with Mario Kart 64 on it. And I don't know, I think it was just because we grew up with that game that it was cool and hip to do it at college parties. And so that was really my first experience into Mario Kart 64. I didn't play it as a kid. I had a PlayStation, not an N64. And so my experience was driving Mario around Rainbow Road when I was blackout drunk. So for this review, I decided not to get blackout drunk, and I decided to do a proper playthrough. So today's video is Mario Kart 64. Now, if you are a first-time viewer on this channel, or if you just haven't yet, go ahead, hit that sub button, because I've got tons of game reviews ranging from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all the way up to the current generations of the Switch and the PS5. Let's get back onto Rainbow Road and see if Mario Kart 64 is any better than the original Super Mario Kart. Super Mario Kart ushered in a new genre of kart racing for generations of video games to come. In 1997, Nintendo and Shigeru Miyamoto were at it again with a follow-up on the Nintendo 64. How would the racer fare in 3D? Would it be able to keep up with its predecessor, or would Mario Kart 64 get lapped? Gentlemen, start your engines and watch out for the blue shell. And let's head into this Mario Kart 64 review, starting with the plot. But be warned, spoilers are ahead. Gamers, this is just good old-fashioned fun on a go-kart. No story, no saving the princess. We are here to race each other. That's it for the plot. Like the original Super Mario Kart 64 offers 8 different racers to play as. Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Donkey Kong, Toad, Bowser, and Yoshi return, but Koopa Trooper is replaced by Wario. Now, just like the first game, there are racing classes. Mario and Luigi are the most balanced racers, good at everything, but great at nothing. Princess Peach, Toad, and Yoshi accelerate quickly and can veer off the course for a bit without losing too much speed, and they do have slightly higher maximum speeds. Tuning is an issue, as they do lose speed if you don't slide the car, and when they crash into heavier racers, they will be thrown around like a rag doll. The last class features Donkey Kong, Bowser, and Wario, as they are the big boys. They turn well and can crash into other karts to send them flying into the walls. They do tend to be slow off the line, and it does take a while to get their karts up to maximum speed. If you veer off the course, they will slow down significantly. So who did I pick? Well, if you tuned into my Super Mario Kart review, you know that I'm pretty boring and I always stick with Mario. So he was my racer through Mario Kart 64. The same game modes return with the ability to race in 4 different cups, just like Super Mario Kart, except you can race in the special cup without having to unlock it this time. When you select a cup, you'll race on 4 different courses, with the winner being awarded 9 points, second place 6 points, third place 3 points, and so on. The racer with the most points after the 4 races wins the cup. You'll be able to select your difficulty, and this is where I have my first issue with Mario Kart 64. I couldn't tell the difference between racing on 50cc and 100cc. The easiest difficulty is 50, and I fully expected to run circles around the opponents, except that wasn't the case. It wasn't that I crashed or wiped out at all, it's just how the racers are programmed. No matter how many boosts or weapons you use, at least one racer, but usually 2, will be right behind you, and I mean right behind you. It was so annoying to race half the course with another racer clogging up my screen during my Mario Kart 64 playthrough. I'm actually not bad at Mario Kart 64, like I was with Super Mario Kart. And I was really surprised to see my opponents right behind me constantly. It didn't matter if I hit them with a banana or a shell, seconds later, they would be right behind me. The same thing happened whenever I got a boost. One time, I got the golden mushroom, which gave me an infinite boost for a short period. After I used it all, 2 seconds later, the second place racer was right behind me again. Sometimes the items felt useless, but the same thing happened whenever I would get behind. I knew that no matter what, I'd be able to track down first place within a matter of seconds. I wish the difficulty varied between 50 and 100 cc. So if you guys haven't guessed yet, I'm talking about the infamous rubber band effect of Mario Kart 64. Personally, I hate it. Just let me lap my opponents or let me get crushed by them. I don't know, it's a gimmick that Mario Kart is pretty famous for, and for me, I feel like it started on Mario Kart 64. I personally hate the rubber band effect. Items are back, and there's a few new ones, including the infamous blue shell that targets first place before exploding. Gone are the coins which you collected in the first game to go faster. I don't really know why they got rid of it. I thought it was a clever layer to the racing, and I was surprised to see it disappear. Now, where Mario Kart 64 pulls away from Super Mario Kart is the ability for 4 players to race against each other on the couch. I mean, come on. When you think about the best couch multiplayer games that everyone plays, you think of Mario Kart 64 first. But to me, the biggest thing that Mario Kart 64 improved upon is the courses. Super Mario Kart did what it could do on the Super Nintendo, but the 3D courses are 100 times better. Not only are they longer, but they provide an atmosphere that's fun to drive by while you're smashing into the opposition. Let's take a look at the courses that you'll be racing on. Luigi Raceway is the first course, and it's the most basic one for beginners to get a grip on the game. Koopa Trooper Beach has jagged corners with waves washing up on shore. Be careful not to drive too far into the sand, as the water will drown you. Moo Moo Farm. What a fun name. This seems like it's from Harvest Moon, but watch out for the moles who return from Super Mario Kart. Calamari Desert is one of my favorites. I always enjoyed outracing the train before it crosses. Toad's Turnpike. It's just like racing through traffic on the highway. Choco Mountain is a curvy course with falling boulders. There's also Frappe Snowland, and this kind of suffers from the fog effect that N64 and PlayStation games had with objects, as they don't really appear until you close in on them. Watch out for the snowmen because of this. Mario Raceway. It's just like Luigi Raceway, but it's a little bit boring. Wario Stadium reminds me of a dirt bike course. Lots of ramps and jumps to hit. Royal Raceway is home to Princess Peach. I want to drive off and visit the castle, but I don't dare. Sherbert Land is home to annoying penguins that slide on their bellies. You don't want to hit them. Bowser's Castle was the first course that really frustrated me with the stupid thwomps. They are rock faces that just come down and slide on the course, and just like I did in the first game, I hit them a lot. DK's Jungle Parkway has natives that will throw stones at you if you leave the course. Thankfully, I never did. Banshee Boardwalk has a few corners that were difficult with missing railways, but thankfully, I mastered that one. Yoshi's Valley. Now, this was the only course that I didn't place in the top 3 at first. It's a small maze, and I completely took the wrong turn during my first time racing on it. Once I memorized the path, it was a piece of cake. And finally, we've got Rainbow Road. This is the most famous course on all of the Mario Karts, but this one is not that difficult. It's just very long, but at least it's pretty to race on with the faces lighting up the sky. So those are the courses that you will be racing on, but just like Super Mario Kart, there is a battle mode. Battle mode offers another style of gameplay where you and your friends will drive around an arena collecting weapons and items and trying to pop each other's balloons. If all of your balloons are popped, you lose. This was just a great change up from the racing, and I really appreciate that they brought it back for Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart 64 improves on the courses dramatically from Super Mario Kart and presents a game that anyone can pick up at any time for a fun ride. But gamers, don't let your nostalgia for it overshadow the fact that it's a mediocre racer. It's better than Super Mario Kart, but it's not the best in the series. Not by a long shot, because you wanna know what ruins it? The rubber band effect. Even with the rubber band effect being a big issue for me, I recognize that Mario Kart 64 was a generational game that so many people love to play with their friends, which is why Mario Kart 64 scores an 8.2 out of 10, making this a great game, especially for gamers that want to experience an excellent multiplayer game. Just don't get too far ahead of the pack because you know the rubber band effect is coming. Gamers, that was my review of Mario Kart 64 on the N64 from 1997. Now, I didn't play this game until I got into college, but I know so many of you probably have a lot of great memories playing this game growing up. And now is your time to share them. Drop me a comment below and tell me all about the great weekends you had playing Mario Kart 64 with your friends. Who's your favorite racer? What's your favorite course? And are you better than your friends at Mario Kart 64? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel because I've got so much game reviews on this channel, including if you want a game review that is a little bit more modern, that's not racing and definitely not family friendly. I just reviewed Stellar Blade on the PS5. That game is extremely difficult, but if you want to check that out, that's going to be coming up next. Gamers, thanks for watching, and make sure you play a video game today.